Let's go over the deck real quick before we play League. That way, the people who haven't read the article yet can get a sense of why we're playing the things we're playing. First and foremost, we're playing 24 lands. Decks with this low of mana curve would usually only want probably 22 or 23. You could even supplant a mountain for a something like Shatter Skull Smashing. Shatter Skull Smashing with Skirk Prospector is sometimes pretty good. I know that the builds in Historic occasionally played Shatter Skull Smashing, and we might end up with one or two at some point. But with Castle Embereth, we just need a bunch of our lands to be mountains so that it enters untapped. Having a land enter the battlefield tapped in this deck is occasionally very bad. With that said, we are playing 4 copies of Den of the Bugbear and 2 copies of Castle Embereth, so things can go wrong sometimes, but hopefully not too often. What those lands do is they offer the deck the ability to flood out and still be able to be competitive. The lands activating around the 4 and 5 mana mark are when you're usually needing another spell. And activating Den of the Bugbear and Castle Embereth both kind of function like a spell if you have any number of creatures on the table. As for the creatures in the deck, the 12 1-drops I think are pretty straightforward. They're very aggressive on the first two. Founder Street Denizen, whenever a red creature enters, you get a +1/+0 until in a turn. So when you play a bunch of creatures in one turn, or you play a token or whatever, this thing triggers multiple times and gets very big. Legion Loyalist has haste. Whenever you have Battalion and attack with it, all your stuff gets trample and first strike and can't be blocked by tokens. The can't be blocked by tokens actually has come up a lot more than I thought it would. But also just the trample with things like Goblin Pile Driver has been pretty sweet. I hate this art, by the way, but that's whatever. But Legion Loyalist has been pretty solid so far, so good. And then Skirk Prospector, we only had 2 in our last build, but how well it worked with the rest of the deck, I think we're going to play 4 and be fine with it. Battlecry Goblin was the best card in the deck the last time we played. The ability to give everything haste and a buff was like a 1-2 punch that was just super sick. And the pack tactics of just creating an extra goblin whenever it attacked, especially when you could use your pump ability afterwards and get another buff. It was extremely powerful. This card single-handedly won me like half my games. We haven't gotten to play with it a ton because it just came out this year or last year, and there hasn't been a great goblin deck for it. Now, maybe someone like Jim Davis on Mog Monday has played this in Modern or something, but as far as I know, until recently, this thing hasn't seen much play, but it's way, way better than I ever expected it to be. We have added Goblin Instigator to the list. This is a 2-mana 1/1 that makes another 1/1. So basically, you just get 2 bodies for the price of 1. Works well with all the goblins that have like, extra bodies matter, like your Runvel Horde Master. This a new Lord has been very strong. Hobgoblin Bandit Warlord or Bandit Lord. This one also buffs all the tokens and also has an extra trigger thingy whenever you play more stuff. This works really well with Instigator too. Conspicuous Snoop is one that I think you can go really hard on if you want to. I really like this card. Being able to play stuff off the top of your deck is always a very powerful effect. And in a deck with like goblins, just raw bodies matters more than anything. But what's actually funny is the activated ability actually comes up pretty regularly, not only for Battlecry Goblin for being able to give everything haste and +1/+0, but also for Goblin Bandit Lord. Sometimes it's on top of the deck. You play like 2 or 3 goblins, and then it has the ability of the Bandit Lord, and you can just kill something. Squee Dubious Monarch is the last card in the main deck that needs to be talked about a little bit, but long story short, you just get 3 power for 3 mana with haste attacking, and it has escape. So your opponent will basically never be able to kill it permanently. Overall, I think this card is exactly fine. As a 3-drop, I would much rather have a Lord, but we just only have the Bandit Lord and the Horde Master as our 2 Lords. And Squee is just good against very grindy matchups, but if our opponent is able to gum up the board, if they don't have a lot of removal, we can trim this card pretty easily. My sideboard plans usually involve cutting one of the 1-drops and either Squee or Goblin Instigator or Goblin Pile Driver in some combination. Many of the other ones stay. The sideboard, the card that's impressed me the most has been Experimental Frenzy. This card single-handedly beats Rakdos if the board's clear when it's cast. They also usually cut their Thought Seizes, so it usually makes Frenzy a bit better. 3 Goblin Chain Whirler. This card is great against things like White Weenie and Mono Blue. Roast. Excellent for killing Shield Dread, but also just a generic removal spell in some matchups. 3 Running Volley for Mono Blue and Mono White. and 3 copies of the licensors for Greasefang and all sorts of other graveyard related decks. That's Goblins. Let's play League. This end's pretty good. You know, we got the Goblins, and that's what we want, right? Our deck is all Goblins. We got lands and Goblins. The end. Uncle Roger would never betray us. He would absolutely say something to get us all to say it, and it's like bad, you know. Like Fuyo probably means like dumb white guy or whatever, you know, which is fine. We deserve it. Oh, Mog Anderson, that's me, Simic. How's it going, buddy? She slept for probably 12 hours or something silly. She slept till like 2 p.m. She woke up at 10. I literally just like, you know, cooed her back to sleep or whatever. We're gonna play Battlecry Goblin. That way next turn we can play Prospector plus buff if there's no Fatal Push. There's likely Fatal Push, but I want to use my mana efficiently. Hopefully we draw a spell that can let us use our mana. The Squee can do some stuff too. Assuming that it doesn't get hit with a graveyard at Trespasser. You making the trek of DreamHack Atlanta? I assume not. Maybe. I'm not just gonna go to go. I've reached out multiple times to see if I can do commentary while we drew land every turn, huh? Drew land every draw step so far, huh? 3 draws, 3 lands. Okay, opponent stuck on 2. That's actually pretty good. I'm gonna play Snoop. Hope we hit a goblin on top. Another Snoop, easy game. I'm not gonna play the Pile Man off of 2 sacrifices because it would require too much resource, but one Snoop, right? Just completely changes the whole game now. Opponent's basically dead if they don't have a 3rd land here. Nice mind. Oh, weird. Conspicuous Snoop just being great. So let me play a million guys. All right, so we're going to bring in Roast and Frenzy. And this is a matchup where we cut Pile Driver. They have too much removal, and Pile Driver needs a bunch of creatures on the table to be good. And then we usually cut Legion Loyalist or Skirk Prospector. I think Loyalist can be okay for making the Kalitas a bit worse. Prospector, although does kind of not require you, but incentivize you to sacrifice stuff, which is generally mediocre in matchups where you're heavy on attrition. So I could see cutting like a number of different combinations of creatures. What I don't want to cut is Squee, Battlecry, Instigator, Horde Master, Snoop, or Bandit Lord. I think all these offer potential more boosts of card advantage. But everything, any of the others, Pile Driver, Prospector, Loyalist, Founder Street, I think all these can potentially be trimmed if you want. I think Founder Street just offers the most bang for your buck, but I don't foresee myself sacrificing with Pile Driver very often. So let's just leave it out. No, we're gonna keep this hand. We don't have a 1-drop, but that's okay. We're gonna lead with Castle Embers probably to make it seem like we're relatively weak. But right, it's pretty good. All right, now we'll just play Den. I just don't want a second Den enter tapped ever. All right. Well, whatever we play here is gonna die, probably. So let's just play Instigator. And this is why Instigator is good, because no one really wants to play Fatal Push on an Instigator. So we're just gonna be left with a bunch of random extra goblins in play. The easiest way to beat an Instigator is to put a creature onto the battlefield, like a Trespasser, but those get sided out a bunch, or a Bone Crusher Giant, which is gonna be pretty good for them here. We'll probably play Squee, just use mana efficiently. Ooh. Well, now we'll just play Squee because it'll be good, I think. Frenzy is gonna be sick later too. Let's go ahead and just jamming them up. Their 3rd land entering tapped is such a boon for us. If they don't have another stomp here for Squee, it's going to be kind of hard to kill. They have an Abrade. That's fine. If they just play Bone Man, I'll probably play Frenzy. If they play something else, I think I might still play Frenzy. All right, squeeze down. Well, now we'll just do that. Let's go Snoop first. I like emptying my hand before I go off. All right, we'll just play Foundry Street. Snoop on top. Snoop and Frenzy are very similar cards in this matchup, um, in what they do late game. But what they really do is they force your opponent to play removal instead of creatures. And what that ends up doing is it makes Frenzy way better later in the game because they're just playing catch up the whole time. Unfortunately, they had a Fatal Push as well. We're going to take this hit here. They're going to play Bone Man. And next turn, we need to... I don't know what we need to do, but we're going to probably play Horde Master. And we're going to have to worry about Extinction Events. Play Snoop first. See if there's anything cool on top. Another Snoop. We'll just keep playing our land so that the Frenzy can do its thing. I'm going to attack for 3. They're not going to block. Next turn, we can play 2 Lords and maybe some more stuff off the top since we have double Snoop. I'm looking to do some trading here, I think. Especially if they activate Hive of the Eye Tyrant. They're not attacking with Trespasser. That means they're afraid of a double block. That means I'm going to double block with these 2 instead. If they want to kill this Snoop, that means this Snoop lives, so that's fine. We have plenty of ways to generate card advantage, so now we just need to try to clear their board. But the reason why they don't attack with Trespasser is because they just can't answer a 2/2, I think. If they can't answer a 2/2, that's fine. That means they get to answer both. And then we just go double Horde Master. We'll just discard Soaking Zone, I guess. That's fine, because I was going to block with the 1/1 anyway, so we basically just force them to use their Kolaghan's Command now. I'm going to attack for 9, I think. And now we just kind of turn the corner. I'm actually surprised they didn't trade with Foundry Street. That's such a huge attack. But they're probably going to play Extinction Event. Yeah, so now they name Even. We just lose everything. We go Land Frenzy and hope to catch back up. But this card's obviously super good against us. This card, Hidetsugu, second right. Not a lot we can do about it. We just got to play our hand and hope for the best. But whenever they have a creature dense draw, that's when Frenzy looks bad because we have to, like, wait to play it. I guess we could have played it on the same turn as Trespasser. But it would have been basically the same because we had Snoop in play like the whole time, right? So, alright, so we have a blocker. We need to hit at least 1 more here. We hit 1. Okay. I played my land in case there was a 2-drop on top. Let's no attacks. We'll just threaten a chump block on the Bone Man. Take 6, maybe 7. Right now, if they activate Hive, we have to block Trespasser and Bone Man. We go to 3. Dreadbore plus lands lethal. Alright. So they had the stuff, but we'll be on the play. Let's see if we can get them with Frenzy. We played a lot of things, but 1 Extinction Event is sometimes a little too much to handle. Alright, we'll keep this one. The fact that Extinction Event gets around Horde Master's ability is kind of sad. I think I'll play Battlecry Goblin on 2, but I might play Horde Master just to punish them for playing removal. Let's play Battlecry Goblin. Next turn, we can play Foundry Street, buff, give them all haste, attack, or we can play Horde Master. All right, so they're probably going to stop this here. But that leaves my Horde Master alive for a full turn cycle, which is nice. I haven't heard it yet, Zam. I've heard about it though, so I'm interested. All right, so they played a removal on 2, but they're at 14. I have 3 creatures, one of which is Horde Master. If they kill it, we exile top card. If it's a goblin, we can play it. Trespasser's fine. Extinction Event next turn is also maybe fine too. We're going to attack with the 2 Foundry Streets. They'll probably trade, and then Extinction Event odd. Top card, Roast. All right. If they go Extinction Event, we draw land, we'll play Frenzy and win easily. If we don't draw land, we'll play Snoop, try to hit some stuff off the top. Shield Dread's okay. Are we going to go and just do 1 damage to face? Extinction on even kills their Shield Dread. Extinction on odd kills these 2. They did get to go up to 7 from the Shield Dread draw. We did exile a Roast as well. Roast comes in this matchup specifically for Shield Dread and for Kalidas. All right, Chandra. I don't know if this is going to be enough. All right, so they can kill a Horde Master. I think they're just dead on board, though. All right, Battlecry and Snoop. Hit a land, and Battlecry Goblin's easy lethal. Unfortunate. Is this still lethal, though? No, I don't think it was, but they conceded anyway, so that's fine. We'll mull this one. No 1-drops, 1 land. Oh, wow, this doesn't look good. We actually even added lands, right? We're at 24 now. Maybe it's not enough. Maybe we need 25. All right, 5 cards. Let's see if it's good. It's a much better. We'll keep. I'm going to put back at least 1 land, maybe 2. Thanks for all the follows. Appreciate y'all. Thanks getting Canister for the raid. Hope you had a good stream, buddy. The Gingerbread Man. Do we block? Do they let us block? Oh. I will go Instigator. I'm going to just push. I don't really know what's up over there. I guess maybe they're the enchantment deck. The Michigo's Rain or whatever. Yep. Alright, so we'll play Horde Master. We'll slam for 6. If they want to double block, by all means. Kaburb, how's it going, man? If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, make sure to hit that follow button. I'm here most weekdays, 1 to 5 Eastern US. I've been live for 30 minutes, so if that helps, if you're a different time zone, that's where we're at. 3, 4, 5. I'll take 5. I'm fine racing. I don't think they can kill me next turn. I shouldn't have attacked with this. I'm on autopilot. Bad attack, bad attack. Got in a lot of damage though. They're at 7. Top card's gone. Didn't hit a 1-drop, so couldn't play anything. We have the ability to activate Castle Embers next turn, so if they do an all-out attack, they might just die to that. I definitely should not attack with this though. That was just a big punt. Just misclick. All right, Springleaf Drum. They're just buffing these boys up pretty big here. That was what they found. They have Gigantha's Champion. Another Ingenious Smith. We'll see what they find. Ornithopter. Man, they got a lot of spells cast in the last few turns, huh? Pretty good. All right, we're drawing into the Bugbear, but if the top couple cards are Goblins, we might be fine. We're not facing lethal. We have Castle, a bunch of stuff. We also mulled the 5, so if we win this game, I'll be pretty happy. Let's take the 9. All right, so they got 4 blockers. We have 5 attackers. Boardmaster. So we can sack something. Let's go sack Goblin token for mana. That way we can clear the top card. Loyalist. Sicko. Boardmaster. Sick. All right, so we attack with everything. Everything's got trample. Is it worth it to play this somehow? I don't think so, but I think we can attack and win. Just because everything has trample. Most of their stuff is low toughness. Nice, nice. 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a Jeej. That's a Jeej, chat. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Chain Whirler coming in. They have some white creatures, but most of the artifacts, not going to worry. Roast, similarly, I don't know if it's worth. Honestly, can't believe I won that game. That's kind of sick. All right, this is a matchup where Squee comes out. Squee is only good if opponents are killing our stuff. And our opponent here is not. We could maybe trim. I like the Instigator. I kind of like the Pile Drivers as well. Pile Driver plus Loyalist seems like a good way to cheese this matchup, since they're trying to cheese us first. Foundry Street Denizen usually gets a lot worse in matchups like this. I'm gonna trim one. I threw away a Runvelt Hordemaster like an absolute idiot. I say idiot the same way that Manguchi says video. Idiot. Bonus deck's pretty cool too, though. Michigo's Reign's pretty sweet. Definitely fine taking 1 damage here. All right. I guess we Hordemaster. I don't know if it's better to Hordemaster or not here, but I kind of want to just play on curve. Snoop and Battlecry are much better later in the game. This is immediate damage, forces them to maybe play removal spells instead of creatures. Oh, I guess I could have sacked it. I just had F6 turned on. That's my bad. If I sack this, I get the potential to play a Goblin. It's definitely better, but I just was F6. Sorry. All right. Gonna offer the trade here. Next turn, we can play 2 Goblins and then sack something to Prospector to activate Hobgoblin to shoot something for 2. You can also just play a Goblin and shoot down Ginger Brute. Here comes Ingenious Smith. I thought it was Michigo's Reign. I was pretty scared of Michigo's Reign. Another Springleaf Drum. That's fine. It seems like they have too much mana already. Springleaf Drum, and then they can double activate. Now sacking this doesn't really matter. I cut the squeeze. I don't have a braid. Maybe I want a braid in my sideboard. Just playing defense pretty well here. All right. Let's go. Slow down, Chief. That's a great draw. Now we'll just play control. Hopefully we draw a land every turn for the rest of the game. Snoop will easily win us the game if we do. Does Ward do our abilities and spells? Spell or ability. Wow. So, all right, they're going to put Giganta in hand. He cast it this turn, though. He can't attack either. We got 3-4 in the way. All right, let's go Snoop first. See if there's anything cool on top. We got a Prospector. So we can deal 2 to something. Or we can play Battlecry Goblin. Gonna sack the Prospector to itself. Gonna slam for 3 with this Hobgoblin. Alright, here comes Jagman. Here comes the Jagman. We have Battlecry plus Horde Master here, though, so I think the game's over. I think double Horde activation wins anyway. Or double Battlecry activation. Easy game. Easiest game of my life? Is this deck fucked up? Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the Raminap runes, honestly. Alright, opponent's on 6 cards. We got some aggressive start here. We're gonna probably end up playing the Sokenzan. Alright, the question is... I think we just go Loyalist Prospector and then Lord next turn. You could argue that we want to play Lord this turn and then 2 spells next turn, but I... Ooh. Scary. Alright, well, let's play the Horde Master so we can attack through this. He'll take 4. If we draw a land, we can Bandit Lord without having to sack. If we don't draw a land, I might do it anyway. No one explains things like you do. That's really nice, Fel. I appreciate that. I put a lot of work into my Patreon. A Sushi, the Blaze. So if this dies, create 3 treasures or do some other stuff, okay? Alright, let's see if they kill the Pile Driver. I'm just not going to attack this turn. We needed to draw some lands so that we could play multiple spells, so we could curve out a little bit better. I think throwing away the Lord to deal 6 damage here is actually not that bad, though. Llanowar Lum Speaker as not a combo piece is interesting. I'm curious if they have anything else to go with it, or if it's just an aggressive mana accelerator. I love Sushi. It's a cool card. It's just never really did anything. You believe Goblins is better aggro deck than Mono White Humans? That's a hard question to answer. I don't think so at the moment necessarily. I think Mono White's excellent. And Goblins is still... We're still finding the best version of Goblins modern. That's the trick. If they attack with the Questing Beast here, I might double block. No attacks, okay. Alright, so if we attack with everything, Pile Driver's how big? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Plus it'll have Trample and First Strike. I think it's just lethal. Should I play Battlecry Goblin so that I can sack the 2 things that get blocked and give everything +1? Probably. Alright, so whatever they block, they're going to block probably 3 things. This is 10 damage. And then we sack 2 things that aren't the Lord to deal maybe extra damage. But the Pile Driver here with the Loyalist is just so much. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, we're only going to lose 1 thing. I think that's fine. We can't do lethal here, I don't think. Can I don't think I can sack the Battlecry Goblin to play its ability, right? Can anyone confirm that for me? Can I sack Battlecry Goblin to pay for its ability off a Skirk Prospector? Oh, Prospector ended up dying. Bummer. Oh well. You can? Oh shit. I don't think maybe we had lethal there. We could have sacked the Prospector and the Battlecry Goblin. Oh no. Is it possible to sack Prospector and Battlecry Goblin to its ability? So I can activate this ability and then sack this, then sack this. Yeah. So I had lethal. I was right. I just missed it. Timing is weird in this kind of area, so that's just my bad. My opponent should be dead. Part of learning new decks? Yeah, I mean, goblins have always been extremely complicated as well. Alright, time to rebuild. Let's see. Probably Snoop Denizen. Maybe we place another one drop instead of the... Alright, no attacks, 1 damage not worth. Maybe it was better to play Bandit Lord, that way I could maybe direct damage them out. But I feel like they just have a bunch of removal. But they didn't kill my... I mean, they didn't have removal the turn before to kill my pile driver, so I don't know. I don't really sweat messing lethal these days, you know? Like, unless it's a very high pressure situation, but... Alright, so they're gonna kill probably Snoop. We go Bandit Lord attack with everybody. This should be attacking for sure. I'm not blocking, so I'm gonna be taking 8. Okay. Has Vigis. So 3 attackers, 2 blockers. Still not quite lethal. They kill Foundry Street. Wow. They're gonna let me snoop it up off the top. Huh. Is it GG now? They got 2 blockers. Our stuff has trample, but it's not lethal, right? This doesn't have haste. Can't activate this. Alright, we send everything in. What happens? Opponent blocks here, takes 2 down to 1. Do I put them to 1 in hopes that I guess I know I'm drawing land for Den of the Bugbear. That's probably worth the 2 damage. So we know we're drawing the land for the Den. They play Bone Man. They got 3 blockers. We have 5 attackers. Cure plus Bone Man's not enough. Oh, that's enough. I forgot you could fucking cure a Glorybringer. That's so sick. Exert attack. I think Den's still lethal. Four attackers, 3 blockers. God, I'm a genius. I'm a genius! Unless they have a shock. No shocks, right? Couldn't be a shock. They missed some damage. We missed the lethal attack. It's fine. It all comes around in the end, chat. Yeah, imagine they died 3 turns ago, though, you know? Shouldn't have been an issue. I should have killed them. I just didn't see it. / didn't know it. Rose coming in. Yeah, they're probably going to have a ton of removal off their sideboard. I think Frenzy might be good. This is not really a matchup that Frenzy would normally be that good against, though. But Squee is extremely bad. Pile Driver and Loyalist are good to help cheese. This could be a we cut Skirk Prospector situation. I think I'm fine with it. We could just cut like 2 Squee and a Skirk Prospector for 3 Roast. Maybe that's better, actually. If some of the goblins just have cool abilities that, you know, kill creatures or whatever. Bonus deck's kind of cool. Fable, Retro. I'm gonna play Horde Master, and I'm actually just not gonna attack. Because I know they're not gonna block, and I don't wanna I want them to have to kill this Founder Street to be able to attack. Although I guess that's bad. Maybe I should have just attacked. Because now if they attack, I'm not sure I'll even block. They might have removal for a Horde Master, and then I lose both. Can Pioneer or Goblin Spark Mage be legal? Could. Not currently. I feel like they should attack with a Goblin, but maybe not. Wonder if they have some sort of treasure thing going on. Atsushi's a weird one. Doesn't really fit the deck thematically. Alright, so let's go... Prospector. I'm gonna attack for 5. Should I offer the trade? Or should I not? I guess I can get a Goblin out of it next turn, so it's actually reasonable. And they played 4 mana for their thing. I am fine with this jump block. That probably means I'm getting Angered of the Gods. Anger of the Gods did. If they anger me, I'm not gonna have 6. That way I can sack everything and then play stuff off Horde Master next turn. Clothis? Okay. This is why I don't like Clothis, man. It just never does anything. Alright, well, that was a great draw, because now I can just play it, advance my board, attack with creatures with 4 power only. Slam for 9. They're going to trade with that Sushi now, more than likely. They're just chumping. I don't understand the chump blocks. I'm very surprised. And they didn't anger last turn, so I don't think they have it this turn. But if they have it, we lose our board, I guess. It was the same as last turn. We lose like a Godo, but they had to sack 2 cards. Maybe they're just sandbagging like crazy for their anger. Yeah. Alright, so let's sack this. Sack this. Then we sack this one. Then we sack this one. Thank you, sweetie. Alright, it was gonna house the cards all of our stuff because the Horde Masters were keeping the Hobgoblin alive. Unfortunate. But we can refuel, and that's kind of why the card's so good, right? You can ask me anything you want, Panic, especially in the DMs, and I'll answer as quickly as I can. Alright, so let's just play our hand out. Easy refuel after the anger. Thanks, Horde Master. Alright, so they don't have another anger. I'm F6 now because I don't really care. My stuff gets exiled. Hope it doesn't. Elf's fine. Definitely no anger now. Another Fable. Soken's on with the mana after anger. Oh, we could have. I kind of wanted the land to be able to play the 3 cards off the top of the deck because it was 5 mana, but we drew the land naturally. It's not a bad idea though. Maybe should have, just because it's so expensive most of the time. But now I'm glad I didn't, because I can just go Battlecry Goblin, Horde Master, buff everything with this. Attack with everybody. Everything's got trample. GG. I think the game's actually over. This looks like a shitload of damage. We even get a token. Legion Loyalists in situations like this is just so brutal. And this is why Battlecry Goblin's so good. Like, our opponent literally angered us a turn a turn and a half ago, and now we're just attacking for lethal, you know? Like, this deck's just so powerful. All right, 3-0. Deck's looking great. All right, we'll start with Foundry Street. Hello there. What's up, Empty? Probably no Fall Guys today, my man. We got a Dono deck after this one. Uh-oh. Oath of Nissa, not a Llanowar Elves, chat. Opponent's dead. They did not play Llanowar Elves, therefore dead. Pile Driver is very good against Mono Green because they don't have that many blockers early. Slitherboard. Okay, so they're Black Splash. Probably for Vraska. It's good to know. Land draw was good. Now we have 2 Pile Drivers. Start pounding in for massive damage. 6-point attack here. Next turn, if we draw a land, we can go Battlecry Goblin. Activate, attack. You can even play Prospector if we want as a freebie buff for Foundry Street. Don't know if it's worth. Old Growth Troll. And they want to block with this too. So they're going to have to block with both. Alright, we'll just play the Bandit Lord. Attack with everybody. So they lose their Carotid, lose their Troll. We only lose 1 Pile Driver. Next turn they get 5 mana. They can play like 1 or 2 blockers. Battlecry Goblin plus activate's probably good enough. Nykthos is not quite broken here. Ooh, this is a big turn. The Nykthos allowed them to get up to 6, which is kind of cool. Oh, wow. Am I just getting hosed here? This mono green deck's so dumb, man. Four mana. What you got? Show me what you got. I mean, they went Oath on 1, Carriage on 2, Grotro on 3, Kiora Karn on 4. This is turn 4. We just had double Pile Driver draw. They got hammered, chat. Hammered. All right, so Roche Chain Whirler, probably something like this. I think in my sideboard guide, I don't recommend bringing in that much. This is a matchup where Squee is bad. I think I just did 2 Squee for 2 Chain Whirler. The Roast has some targets, but like 2 mana to kill Llanowar Elf is kind of bad. It doesn't kill the 5-drop. Killing Old Growth Troll doesn't do a ton. I think I'm just going to do 2 Chain Whirler for 2 Squee and not worry too much about anything else. All right, we'll keep. All right, opponent's on 6. See if they have an elf. No elf again. They are on the play, though, so it's less devastating. No, we have some changes. Some changes. I will go Foundry Street here. Need to just draw some lands would be nice. I'm gonna play Instigator. I feel like they have Fatal Push or Abrupt Decay or something stupid. Just because they didn't do anything. If I play Pile Driver, they're just gonna pop it. So I just want to make their removal worse. They didn't have it. Or they chose not to use it 1. Awesome. Let's gonna do the same thing. Hopefully at some point they tap out, I play Horde Master. They take lethal. That's the hope. They just conceded. Okay, very cool. What's the number of Mutavaults that I should play? Alright, I don't think we can keep the 1-lander, even though we have 3 1-drops. This 6 is pretty good. We're going to keep this one. I'm going to put back one of the 3-mana lords. I don't want to get stuck with multiple 3s in hand, unable to cast. I think 1 that I can curve into is fine, but 2 getting stuck is bad. Alright, so let's start with Loyalists. Swifties. Oh, thank you for playing defense, sweet baby. Thank you, sweet baby, for playing defense. Mutavault's rough with Whirler? Yeah, but it's like an additional land, and Chain Whirler is not even that good. Alright, so now we're just never going to attack again. Alright, so they're basically saying we have everything, so that's fine. Alright, so Horde Master down. Top card's a Prospector. Okay, so we can replace. No tax. Alright, no Chain Whirler from them would be great. Chain Whirler from them's game. No blocks ever. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And I'll play the Bandit Lord. No tax. I don't want them to kill the Bandit Lord and then block, and I also just don't want them. They could just like stomp Legion Loyalists and block the Founders Tree, right? Just no tax. They have the Lightning Strike, chat. Alright, so they only have 2 cards left in hand. Snoop's gonna be the last thing I play, probably. Alright, seems like they're gonna tap out for Bone Crusher or something here. They're attacking for 1 only. We can play Horde Master attack for 3. Ooh, Lava Sage is a bummer. Eidolon? Eidolon's kind of nasty. Doesn't block that well, though. Seems like an easy trade if I were them. It's only going to get worse with the Loyalist, unless they want to get aggressive. So Ponkless, yeah, deck's been really good so far. I do think Mono Red can be a bad matchup, though, so I'm not super stoked about this opponent. We'll see how it goes. Ooh, another Loyalist off the top. Horde Master's been so dank. All right, play with fire. They're going to play the idol on this turn as well. They're just doing this pre-combat. Land on top. What'd you play against in the league? Mono green ones. I don't know. Chat can probably tell you. I don't actually remember all the decks that I played against. I'm sorry. It was a pretty quick league. We kind of stomped everybody. I beat Rakdos once. I beat Mono green once. That's a big deal. All right, so they drew a ton of removal. We're trying to sweat through it, and they're going to finish it off with Eidolon. This is basically nightmare scenario. The Dom Lord seems strong. Yeah, they're all very good, I think. If they gamble if they attack with Swissbeard before playing anything, I might block. I might just call their bluff. Go fuck yourself. Wow, nice top deck. I guess I should have just blocked Eidolon. I'm just gonna concede. I needed them to just not draw at one time, dealer. Bringing the roasts. I kind of want the frenzies. I don't love the chain whirlers, but I kind of want the frenzies. I will cut Pile Driver and Legion Loyalist. Everything else is fine. Yeah, I wrote my sideboard guide with Instigator in mind, but before I'd actually even played it, so. But this matchup's pretty bad, I think, so I think we're just gonna end up losing here, but maybe not. Maybe not. Got a nice little natural curve into Frenzy on 4. We're gonna hope that they're just extremely controlling, right? Just kill everything, kill everything, kill everything. All right, well, let's sack this. All right, top card was a nothing burger. All right, I can just play Frenzy here, or I can play. I think I'm just gonna play Frenzy. All right, let's see what we can do, chat. They're gonna be the aggressor, but like if I just play Bandit Lord, they're just gonna kill an attack probably. But now they can just burn face, so I think that we just can't win no matter which way we decide. Their deck is just very low to the ground. We can't block. They can play defense pretty easily. They have a ton of 1-mana removal that kills everything. I don't know, it just felt pretty bad. I don't even think Dragon's Claw is good against their deck. The majority of their damage comes from creatures. All right, Founder Street. At least they don't have Eidolon, right? GG me. 2 lanes on Frenzy, can't win. Red Dagger versus Tribal always bad? Usually, yeah. Believer's about to get scammed. Is it really a scam if you just lose once with Goblins, you know? Played a whole league. I just lost once with Goblins. Is it really scamaz? We're at 2 facing off Raminap. Wonder if we can kill him this turn. GG. Alright, we gotta pay the doubters, chats. Choose outcome, F to doubt. Unfortunate. So first and foremost, the Goblin Instigators actually felt pretty good. I didn't feel like they added a ton to the Skirk Prospector draws like Mog War Marshal used to do. What they did do, though, is they allowed me to go turn 1 Foundry Street, turn 2 Goblin Instigator, and not really have something that I would really care if it died to a removal spell. The 1-drops dying to shocks and such, not that big of a deal. The Instigators going a little bit wider makes Hordemaster and Goblin Bandit Lord a little bit better. But I think what I really want to move forward is just adding another land or two. Another land here, I think, as a first Meta Vault would be pretty good. And I would probably trim a Squee Dubious Monarch. We didn't draw too many in this league, and it wasn't that good when we did draw it, and we did side it out a bunch. But I think it's going to get sided out against decks that just don't have a lot of removal. So your other tribal decks, you know, decks that just don't kill your stuff like mono green, Squee's going to be pretty lackluster there. And in general, maybe we can just sideboard them. If we add multiple Meta Vaults, we can maybe cut Chain Whirler from the sideboard and just play Squeeze in that slot instead. But then we have to rework it and maybe put some more removal into the side. Frenzy was good against Rakdos, but we didn't get to see it go off in any of the other matchups, unfortunately. Didn't get to see much out of many of the sideboard cards at all, to be clear. But the deck felt good. Battlecry Goblin did some really cool stuff a few times. Goblin Instigator makes Battlecry Goblin a bit better too. All those extra bodies just make all the widespread buffs just much stronger. Didn't really miss Fanatical Firebrand, but no one played Eleanorels against me. Fanatical Firebrand was in the other build, but I wanted to try out a different version that didn't play it. and I really liked playing 4 Skirk Prospectors in some spots. It just allows you to find kills with Battlecry Goblin that you might not have had before. So I like Prospector a bunch. I don't know that we need 4 though, so maybe we can go 2 and 2 on that and Fanatical Firebrand or something. But I love the 4 Snoobs, 4 Hordemaster, 4 Battlecry Goblin. We can maybe trim on Instigator, maybe trim on Squee. Those are going to be the 2 places where I think where I move some stuff away for the future. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.